Hi, guys. Just want to flag really quickly that I will be leaving for Europe for 2.5 weeks. So we will not have any Obsessed episodes next week and the week after, which is sad and I will miss you. But the good news about that is that I'll have so much to tell you when I come back. So I'll miss you, but I will see you then.
Well, Brooke, you don't always have to be a star.
I know, but you do if you are going to be in the biggest boy band in the world. I gotten so worked up that I had thrown up on myself in my stroller. In my 14-year-old self, I said, those are hot men. And look at them now. They're like babies. That was kind of just like a casual interest, which I guess maybe a little bit more than casual. I feel ready to go. How about you guys?
Ready to go.
Ready?
Rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, working on my posture again today. My back felt a little bit better after last week's episode compared to the one before. So we can only go up. Hey guys, welcome back to Obsessed. I'm super happy to have you here today. We have got a fun episode prepared. We're going to do a little bit of a Q&A. I had you guys ask me some obsession/obsessed related questions that Izzy and Kenny, those are also available to you to answer as well too. So that's exciting. I do have to kind of very quickly run through the Netflix is a joke of it all before that, because I know it might be a little confusing. This Obsessed episodes come out a week and a day after they're recorded. So currently right now we are in the thick of Netflix is a joke, which I've spoken about a bit on B&C. But the thing about being obsessed with something is that you have to talk about it on multiple different podcasts, as well as offline too. So that's what we're going to do today before we get into the Q&A. Really quickly, Izzy, Kenny, you obsessed with anything at all?
This is like probably universal, but
Yeah.
Espresso.
Nespresso or Espresso?
Espresso
Yeah.
by Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, the song.
The song, yeah.
Yes.
Cannot stop
Yes.
saying.
That's me.
I'm working late because I'm a singer. So
Totally.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Netflix as a joke, I saw Conan do his live podcast this week. That was awesome. And the surprise guest was John C. Reilly.
Whoa.
So it was an
guest.
unreal show.
Was that part of Netflix is a joke?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
And he even came out and pointed out that he has a show on Max. And he's like, no, I'm being dead serious. I don't think Netflix realizes that I'm not part of Netflix and that I have a show on Max. I don't think they care. So
I think Conan is the best late night host. I know he's no longer doing late night, but like he is so criminally underrated.
yes.
Like I think he could run the whole late night industry if he put his mind to it,
Yes.
yeah.
if possible. And I wish he would. Conan featuring Seth Meyers would be
Oh my God.
my
So
dream
good.
Unreal.
late night lineup, and Brittany Broski too.
Oh, for sure. That would be, oh my God. Could you imagine like a panel late night show with
No,
those
that
three?
would be insane.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I saw Conan because Megan, our dear Megan, is like scary obsessed with Conan. And by scary, I mean positive connotation scary. But she has been putting her name into a raffle for years to see a live recording of his podcast. And she won probably 6 months ago when I went with her. And I had always loved Conan, but seeing him live, like he is so quick. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
I too have never seen anything like it. Like he's just on
He's always on.
and every joke is like a home run joke.
Home run.
Gets a giant laugh and it's like he's been in every scenario a million times and he knows exactly what to say. And even his fan interactions, when a fan's kind of being awkward with him, he just pivots and like handles it so well, and he's just hilarious.
There's
He's the
nothing
best.
he can't handle.
Yeah.
But the guest for that one was Ed Sheeran, who I grew up like loving Ed Sheeran because he was very much a part of the One Direction community. Yeah. He wrote a lot of their songs. His first album came out around that time, and it was just really kind of like aligned with everything happening in that community. So it was perfect. I saw Ed in Philly at like an outdoor venue of like 200 people, and like it wasn't full. So I think it was before his first album came out. So I really like loved Ed. And then he was Conan's guest, and he wouldn't let Conan talk. And it was rubbing me such the wrong way that now I've been having a hard time with Ed after that, which is tough.
I'm kind of shocked to hear that because isn't Ed pretty soft-spoken?
You would think, Kenny.
Yeah,
I had thought that. But maybe he was nervous, which I completely understand, giving him the benefit of the doubt. But literally Conan couldn't get a word in, and I just wanted to hear Conan. And poor Megan was just wanted to hear Conan too.
right,
after she was entering the raffle for 2 years.
Oh, man.
But yeah. So, do you know Jordan Schlansky?
Yes. Yeah.
Like on my tier list.
Oh, for sure. He's a specimen.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, he's one of Conan's, or was one of Conan's producers, and they did like sketches, or not sketches. It was like, I think that's really him. It's kind of like a Nathan For You type of thing where you don't really know the real Jordan Schlansky, but they would film moments of Conan and Jordan Schlansky doing things, and I would really encourage you to look that up if possible, because it is like out of this world. Yeah.
Those are
he's
very
very Nathan Fielder-esque, just kind of like you don't know if what's happening in that head of his. Would recommend. Okay. Yay, Conan. Love. Okay. I am not really obsessed with anything besides John and Nick this week, except for, I told you I had read a romance novel last week by Abby Jimenez, yours truly. I've since read her other two. So I've read 3 of hers in a week. They're very popular on Book Talk. I've read all the ones that are in that like one series, like yours truly, whatever the first one is called, Part of Your World, and Just for the Summer. Read those 3. You would think I'm obsessed because I've read 3 of them in a week. I'm definitely in a heavy, like I really enjoyed myself reading them, but I don't think that I would call myself obsessed because I'm ready to move on to another author, and she still has a lot of books out, and I'm kind of like, I could take them or leave them, you know? Definitely had a good time, but it was very like fluffy, which is great sometimes, but I think I'm going to move on for a bit, but would totally recommend for like a beach read or like a cozy read. There were definitely multiple times that I was like kicking my feet together and such. And I don't know if I said this last week, and this is probably not true. I'm probably just like overestimating my abilities, but reading those, I was like, I feel like I could write one of these, and I would really like to. Yeah. Just want to get a few more romantic experiences under my belt, because, you know, they say write what you know. And then I'm like off to the races. I'm going to start writing. So hopefully in Europe, I'll have kind of like a European romance that doesn't have to last. I just want it to use for source material for my romance novel. Do you think that I would have to go to like a writing seminar or class, or you think you can just kind of like dive right into it via Google Docs?
I think you just dive right in.
Yeah.
That's not something you can teach. Like, you're either a good writer
Like
or
hand-eye
not.
coordination.
Yeah.
I think if
Yeah.
you feel the spark to do it, you should, and then you workshop it with like a class or seminar after. Once you've gotten
Yeah,
the thoughts
Kenny.
down on the page.
I would be really embarrassed, even though there's nothing to be embarrassed about at all. So I think I would go by a different name until it did really, really well. And then I'd be like, guess what? That's me.
What would your pen name be?
That's something to think about for sure. Maybe Brooklyn.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had that great character name last week.
Walker Black.
Walker Black.
Yeah, Walker Black is. If you guys, if there's a character in a romance novel by an author that you don't recognize, and the main character is Walker Black, just know that might just be me.
The signs were always
But
there.
yeah, I'll have to think about my pen name. Yeah, maybe like I actually can't tell you because it's private. But yeah, so kind of loving those. And then I think I'm going to dive into Emily Henry next, which probably means nothing to you guys, but that's another popular Book Talk romance author, because I'm not ready to leave the romance space just quite yet. Yeah. Okay, one other thing is that I've been seeing all over TikTok, and also from my mom, who's very into like astrology and stuff, that something crazy is about to happen to Geminis. And then I looked it up last night on TikTok to try to find all the TikToks, that I've been seeing. And then I can't find anything, so I don't remember exactly what's going to happen to Geminis. But I know, according to my mom, who I don't want to ask again because I don't want her to think that I'm interested, so that she keeps telling me this information. And according to TikTok, starting at the end of May for a year, something is going to happen that's like life altering for Geminis.
Positive or
positive connotation. Okay. I think it's like also romance based too. So whether that means I fall in love or get to write my romance novel, either one is really exciting. I'm not personally a spiritual person. I don't really believe in like astrology or crystals or psychics or whatever, unless it's telling me exactly what I want to hear. And then I completely believe everything that is being said to me in that case. So really looking forward to it. Yay. Okay. Netflix is a joke. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I saw, and I know that you guys have heard this, you're going to hear it again. I saw Big Mouth live almost a week ago. I saw it a week ago, and it has stayed with me every day and every second that has passed. It was the best thing that I have ever seen. And I know I say that about a lot of things that I've seen. Best thing I've ever seen in my life. Do you guys watch Big Mouth?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, a lot of it. Yeah.
Big Mouth is one of my favorite shows. And I know it might be hard if you try to watch it and you're like, this is disgusting. Yes. Okay. Parts of it are absolutely gross. Some of it is gross, like, oh, positive connotation gross. Like, yes, like that is like what happened to my body during puberty gross. So like I appreciate that being told and seeing it. Some of it is there was no reason for me to have seen that, and that didn't need to be shown, kind of gross. So understanding if you're not like loving perceiving those things, but I really don't think a show has like told the story of puberty better. And I think for me especially, like that part of my life is the part of my life that shaped me the most, those years. So that's why I love Big Mouth so much. In addition to, you guys know I love Nick Kroll, who is the creator, and Nick is the main character, voiced by Nick, and also a lot of other characters are voiced by him as well. And Andrew is his best friend and co-creator, Nick's friend Andrew, but voiced by John Mulaney, who you guys know. There's nothing I wouldn't do for John M. And Nick K. In terms of like stand-ups, I think I've seen them each maybe like 6 or 7 times. I feel like those are the only 2 like stand-up comedians that I've been following around the world for a long time too, since I was in college. So yeah, I love those two literal deaths. They both were a big part of Big Mouth Live, of course. Also Maya Rudolph, who's incredible, literally can do no wrong. Kristen Wiig was there. She's the voice of one of the characters' vaginas, which is exciting. And then Fred Armisen was there, and he was dressed as a giant tampon, and he came out into the crowd, and he was an inch from me. By inch, I mean like probably like 12 feet, but he was so close to me that I could see him without my glasses.
Huge.
Yeah,
pretty close.
I could make out. I could say, "Oh, that's Fred Armisen," and I wasn't wearing my glasses, and that means that he was very close to me. So, if you guys have not watched Big Mouth, and kind of the story and experience of puberty means a lot to you, I would really encourage you to kind of start binging that show, and it's a great bingeable show too. Also, something that meant a lot to me is that, you know how like every friend group kind of like has their own language. So like, for example, meet Chauncey, stuff like that. And like, what questions do you have for me? Like B and C has its own language. Something really sweet was that John and Nick and like Maya, they have their own language too, which was really sweet, kind of just like seeing them as friends on the stage. So like when they were like communicating with each other and like doing bits with each other, if one like looked away for just 1 second, the other would be like, look me in the eyes when I'm talking to you. Look me in the fucking eyes when I'm talking to you. And they kept doing that. And I was just like, this is exactly like something that we would do. So it was really kind of special to see them as friends as well as like famous comedians.
Yeah,
you know?
That's really cool.
So that was Big Mouth Live. And then it was John Mulaney at the Hollywood Bowl, which was remarkable and exceptional and amazing. And I have no notes.
Was it a new set?
What?
New set?
It was, yeah, it was different from Baby J, which was his last and most recent special. But there were a lot of things that I had seen because I've seen him so many times. So it was like the stuff that he's been like kind of workshopping recently, which I love. So, and there was some stuff that I haven't heard too, which is always great. But the thing is, like, I could literally watch either of them do the same set over and over and over and over and over again, and it gets better every time because they're like constantly like, even just like if like a little like inflection at the end of a joke change, it like makes the whole thing. But Nick opened for him, and it's just like so sweet. They are like constantly referring to each other as like, this is my best friend in the world, like and my greatest friend, and it is just so darling. And I feel like we don't get to see like male adult friendships like that a lot, and I don't know why we're all not completely consumed and focusing on these two grown men. To me, it's like a One Direction type of experience. Like when they walk on the stage, I get the same feeling that I felt when One Direction entered the building, and that's saying something. Yeah. So I just really, they mean a lot to me, those two, and I can't stress that enough. Okay, some of my favorite bits from them, and then we're going to move on to the Q&A portion. Something I love that John tells, and I think this is in his last special, Baby J, is when he was in rehab. He talks a lot about his rehab experience in that special. And he was like super panicked that people were going to recognize him. So he went by John M. And he put John M on his name tag. And then slowly he realized that no one recognized him. So then he actually got really upset, which I can completely understand. So then he started purposefully placing newspapers in front of people that had his, like, oh, John Mulaney goes to rehab headline on it, and he kept leaving those around. And he was, so he was actually completely regretting going by John M, and pivoted, kind of like Meet Chauncey, and then started wanting people to know exactly who he was. So that is something that we can all relate to. And something that I love about John is that he says what we are kind of all thinking, and they're too scared to admit. Like, for example, he did this bit about wanting one of his grandparents to die when he was in elementary school, because he noticed that when one of his fellow classmates' grandparents died around him, they would get a lot of attention. Okay, so he started to kind of wish that one of his less important grandparents would pass, because also he noticed that there was a lot of cheating going on in the system of like the beanbag chair. You know how you, like in elementary school, you would like, your day on the beanbag chair would come. So like he couldn't help but notice that when someone's grandparent would die, they would get to cheat the system and sit in the beanbag chair. So that's what he was kind of wanting to do. And unfortunately, one of his grandparents did die over the summer. So he didn't get beanbag chair access. Yeah. Hey guys, we're going to take a quick break to thank one of today's sponsors, Alo Moves. Mental health is so important to me, and I found that connecting with like-minded people has helped me so much. And since May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm finding community and support for my mental health with Alo Moves. Alo Moves is the award-winning on-demand streaming wellness platform app that has workouts, mindfulness, nutrition, self-care, and more to help boost your mental and physical well-being. When I make time for movement and mindfulness, even if it's just for 5 minutes, it has such a positive impact on my day and makes me want to share that positivity with others. Whether I'm taking a class with a friend in person or connecting with another member in the community comments, Alo Moves really brings people together. We're all just trying to find ourselves because we're all in it together. With over 100 new classes every month, Alo Moves keeps me motivated and supported. It's like a constant stream of fresh vibes for my mental health journey. Alo Moves has had a huge impact on my wellness journey, especially with their mindfulness classes. Their meditations help me let go of anxiety and stress and allow me to focus on my daily goals. Find yourself together when you join Alo Moves. Join the community on alomoves.com today and use code OWB for an exclusive 30-day free trial, plus enjoy 20% off an annual membership. That's alomoves.com, code OWB for 30-day free trial plus 20% off an annual membership. alomoves.com, code OWB. Hey guys, we're taking a quick break to thank one of our sponsors, MeUndies. Is anyone else's underwear drawer the most random collection of pairs from over the years? You've got pairs from 3 birthdays and 2 Christmases ago, pairs from 5 different brands with 5 different fits. And when you open that drawer every morning, you have no idea what to expect. Now that I've switched to MeUndies and don't reach for anything else. All my MeUndies pairs are so comfortable and soft. There's nothing worse than an uncomfortable pair of underwear, and now I don't have to worry about that when I wear my MeUndies. From all black classics to fun expressive prints, MeUndies has a look for everyone. Plus, they come in sizes XS to 4XL, guaranteeing a flattering cut for every body. MeUndies isn't just about underwear. Explore the lounge collection featuring comfy joggers, hoodies, onesies, and more. And their Move Me activewear collection is the softest activewear on the market. Their signature fabric is as soft as a warm hug from your favorite sweater. It's breathable, stretchy, and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear. They use sustainably sourced materials and work with partners that care for their workers. And if you're not happy with your first pair of MeUndies, it's on MeUndies. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/OWB. That's MeUndies.com/OWB for 20% off plus free shipping. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in. So that's something that I love about John. Okay, and there's also a live show happening right now during Netflix as a joke on Netflix that John is doing called Everybody's in LA that I've been sat for every night at 7 p.m. PST. And something really unique happened last night, which was fast forward a few years ago when I went to see Nick do stand up. He was talking about being hypnotized, and he described the man doing the hypnosis. So I guess you would call that a hypnotist. He described his hypnotist. He needed to get hypnotized because he was addicted to snacks, by the way. So he described his hypnotist as looking like a football with a toupee. And I remember that stuck with me because I thought it was funny. Okay. Last night, John brings out his hypnotist. Okay. And let me see if I can access that man for you that came out. And I did put this on my Instagram story, but if you guys didn't see it, oh my God, right here, as soon as I opened, it was this man in the middle. Okay. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Came out. I said immediately, that's the football with a toupee.
100%.
Okay. No doubt in my mind. Like, that's what he is.
For sure.
And so I think that's really sweet that as we've spoken about their best friends, they also seemingly share a hypnotist. So I posted that on my Instagram story last night, like exactly what I just told you. I was like, oh, I saw this bit of like Nick Kroll saying that his hypnotist looked like a football with a toupee. So now I'm watching John's live show. I pan to my TV of me watching John's live show. I say, this must be the same young man that Nick was discussing. Okay. Then someone responds to my Instagram story of me saying that very clearly. Okay. Could not have been more clear. And they say, all caps, Brooke, we need to know if you're watching John Mulaney's new show on Netflix. Want your thoughts on it. What did I just say? Like, it's so clear that you were just looking through my story with volume off, which is completely fine. I do that all the time. If you're gonna respond to it, volume up for me now. Okay. Love you though. Seriously. Okay. I feel like is that all I have to say on that? My thoughts on Everybody's in LA? I would say it's not John's best work, but I'm obsessed with it. I think that John thrives alone. Okay. And when we get to really see his personality, I don't want to hear from anyone else right now. I just want to hear from John. And I think that he's picking people to come on, but it's just like they're not giving. They're not giving. And John's doing everything that he can, and he's doing an amazing job. But I just need to see him alone.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I watched the pilot episode, and I will go back and watch the rest.
Yeah.
But Seinfeld was on the first episode, and I don't know. He just comes across very smug.
Yeah.
And everything John was saying, Seinfeld's reaction was like, yeah, why am I here again? Like, he kind of gave that. And it's just
like everyone's giving either nothing or too much. Like Jon Stewart was on the next night and literally wouldn't let John talk. And I was having I didn't really have any feelings about Jon Stewart before, but now can't look at him.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't put people who know they're funny all together because they're just trying to out funny each other. And it's just like, it doesn't work.
Really tough. The only two comedians that I want to see together, John and Nick. Okay. And I don't know why not every single person is feeling that way alongside with me. Okay, you ready for the Q&A? Any questions about Netflix as a joke or John and Nick? Happy to circle back to this.
I just had one question about, you said that live show is like the best thing you've seen. What made it specifically so great?
The Big Mouth one?
Yeah, the Big Mouth one.
I guess my expectations were just like, oh, they're going to do a live table reading. But then they just like pulled out all the stops. Like John sang a song from Big Mouth, which was like truly my face hurt from smiling so much. Because like he can't really sing. And it was just like, and he did it with every, like the confidence of Barbra Streisand, which I loved. And I loved the song specifically. And they just did like a variety show. Like they did, like you just never knew what was coming. You never knew who was coming. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. And they did like all of my favorite bits from Big Mouth. And it's just crazy to see like something you love come to life like that.
For sure.
Especially because it's a cartoon. Like to see the people behind it.
Yeah.
Is so cool. And see how they interact in real life. It was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's like the funniest group of people you could ask for.
Truly.
Yeah.
Like almost every great comedian. Yeah. I was loving.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your support. Okay. Questions. What's something you wish you could obsess over but just can't? That's a good one. And I do have an answer for you. And please don't be mad at me. This is something like I really, really want to like, but for whatever reason, like my body's just not aligned. And that is like sad girl songs. So like Phoebe Bridgers and like Gracie Abrams. Like I recognize those, like Sabrina Carpenter. Like I recognize like they are extremely talented. Like those are good songs. Like that is amazing music that they're making. I don't know what it is. I can't put it on.
That's so interesting because I feel like that's like right up your alley.
I know. And I really want to like it. I do love that one song by Phoebe Bridgers. It's just like her main one.
Motion sickness.
Yeah. I do love that one.
Yeah.
And I think like if you were to like force me to listen and play them over and over and over again, like I would like them, but like for whatever reason, it's just like not what I gravitate towards and like would struggle to just listen to that if forced. Yeah. Anything that you guys have like want to be obsessed with but just can't?
I mean, not that, I guess I just can't obsess over like the meaning of lyrics. In that same
I'm kind of there with you.
I'm like, I'd rather just listen to a song at face value. I don't want to think about the deeper meaning behind it. You know what I mean? Yeah, to all the Taylor Swift lyrics, I'm like, I don't want. I don't need to read a whole novel to understand why she said what she said.
I feel that way with movies, which is really, I feel bad, but like I hate movies where it's like something just happened that clearly has a deeper meaning. And now I have to stop watching the movie to think about it. And then I missed what just happened because I was thinking about the deeper meaning. And now I'm confused. The whole movie. Like that was Barbie for me. Like it was very full of metaphors, which is great. And like I love that in a book. That's why I'm reading. But like in a movie, it's like, okay, let me think about that for a second. By the time I'm done thinking about it, I've missed the last 5 minutes of the movie. So... And I don't want to like sound like dumb when I say this, but like I don't like movies that are like deep thinkers most of the time. There are exceptions. I love movies that like end kind of open-ended, so then you can walk out and think and not miss a lot of the movie thinking. But like when a lot is happening in the middle, it's just like I'm watching a movie to be entertained. Like I don't have the brain power right now to take myself away from the film.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I have to be careful how I word this, but I have the same thing like you were saying about astrology. It seems like it's such a big thing over the last 5 years. People are like obsessed with when they were born, the star signs and stuff. I feel like I just have so much going on in my life. I'm already stressed out with. I don't want like another external thing to think about.
And Kenny, that's fine.
Do you know what I mean? Like
totally.
I respect people who derive meaning from it. My sisters and my mom are really into it. Yeah. Crystals and like psychics.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out my day to day, and I don't need like more stress on top
totally.
of that. Yeah.
I get that. As I've always said, I don't believe any of it unless it's telling me what I want to hear. In that case, I'm a devout follower.
Yeah. If someone told me I'll be like a millionaire tomorrow, I will believe them in a second. Yeah. But other than that, I have a hard time.
Also, like those TikToks that are like the initial of the next the initial that I show you is who you're going to end up with. If it's like H, and I'm like, oh my God, Harry Styles. Yes, of course, that's 100%. But if it's like another letter that it's like, I can't think of anyone, I'm just like, this is so stupid. Really so stupid. Like, couldn't be more stupid. And then it's like, claim this sound. Sometimes I do that on private. Okay. Sometimes I'll do that where only me can see.
If you see me comment claim, move on.
I very much am like, and even with like, okay, not to get deep at all, but like even with like God and stuff, I'm like, no, I don't believe anything. And then I'll find myself thinking like, sorry, like, yes, I do.
I do that
Like,
too.
sorry, no offense. I didn't mean that. Like, so you know what? We're all figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I want to be obsessed with so badly, but just like there's a disconnect somehow, is reality TV.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like I love the Kardashians. I love like the Netflix love. I love Love is Blind. I was into Married at First Sight for a while. Like those kinds of shows, but like none of the Real Housewives. Like I just don't find it entertaining, which is wild because you would think I would. And I tried too. Love Island, I can't. And like I wish I liked like Traitors or Survivor, Big Brother, any of those competition shows. Can't. So, but that is something that I wish I liked.
Same.
I find myself when I'm watching those getting antsy. I'm like, oh, I could be doing anything else right now. It doesn't hook me the way that it does for some people.
I know, and I feel like it would be such a good like be on my phone and watch TV thing, but I don't know. Okay. Are there any hobbies you were obsessed with before knitting? Yeah, reading. As we've discussed, I can only do one thing at a time, one hobby at a time. So I know I've talked about this a lot, but like 2018 to COVID, I was obsessed with reading. I had a book Instagram ahead of its time, Brookstagram, it was called. And all I did was read and watch BookTube. And then TikTok came along, and then I don't think I picked up a book in 2 years because I was just like so obsessed with making videos. And then knitting came along, and then all I could do was knit. Also wasn't reading and wasn't posting on TikTok. And now all I can do is read. I can't look at my needles. It makes me nauseous to like look at knitting needles. It overwhelms me so much because it's like, and I wish I could listen to audiobooks so I can knit and read. Can't. So I just have to be reading right now. I cannot knit, which is sad, but like my mom's still waiting for a chicken.
Do you think you'll ever come back to it?
Like, I hope, but also I don't want to stop reading. I would say this obsession that I am in with reading right now has brought me the most joy of any of the obsessions that I've had. But also I would probably have said that about every obsession at the time. But I don't know. I feel like this is like the most like community I've had in an obsession, like talking to other people about books. You know how much I love Goodreads. Like becoming obsessed with like people. So like authors, Sarah J. Maas and such. And now what kind of wanting to write my own. I wonder how like authors read. Because like there's no way if I was trying to write a book, I would be able to read because I'd feel like that's time I could be spent writing my book.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if you get this question, but people ask me like, oh, what podcast do you listen to? I'm like, oh, this one and Brooke and Connor. That's about it.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
I couldn't possibly listen to a podcast in this day and age. I do listen to Britney's. Yeah. That's my morning, my morning news.
Yeah.
But that to me feels like more of a show.
Yeah.
Is that a daily once a week show, or is that multiple times
it's
a week?
Once a week, but I think she would be so good doing a daily one. But I mean, she's so busy, but still. Okay. Have you seen The Idea of You? Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Walk me through thoughts, feelings.
Okay. I was hoping this was going to come up today, actually. So we did a movie night, Sophie and I, last weekend, and she's like, I really want to see this. It's based on a Harry Styles fanfic, I believe.
It was a book.
Okay.
I think the book was inspired by the idea of Harry.
Okay. And after being in the obsessed world now and understanding how big of a deal it would be to have a romantic spark with the equivalent of Harry Styles, Anne Hathaway's character does not give a shit.
She didn't give a fuck.
She could not care less that she was in his trailer, which is also like bad security,
right?
Like Coachella. But the whole movie, not the whole movie. Most of the movie, he's convincing her why she should be interested in him, which I think is a great flip on that.
True, Kenny. We usually kind of see it the other way. Like
yeah. But I kind of had higher expectations on the comedy side of it because it's Michael Showalter who did Wet Hot American Summer and he directed The Big Sick.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, he's so funny, and he had the this like famous sketch group, and I'm blanking on the name. Sorry, but he's like a comedy legend, and the movie wasn't very funny. I thought it was gonna be a lot funnier. Was there any humor? Yeah, like the Harry Styles character is like cheeky, but like it's kind of like it doesn't really land all that well for me. But yeah, I thought it was a sweet movie. Have you seen it? Okay, what are your thoughts?
I'm like gonna get canceled, but I didn't like it, and I think people are gonna be shocked by that because it does seem something that is right up my alley, which is true. But when there's I don't want to say it's a bad movie, but like that's in the category of like bad movies, like Kissing Booth, whatever. There's either like bad movies or good bad movies. So like Kissing Booth to me is so bad that it's a good bad movie. You know, it's like you can do nothing but laugh and cringe, positive connotation in Kissing Booth. This was like not bad enough, but it was bad, but not bad enough. So I was kind of just like, And Anne Hathaway, brilliant, love her, really took me out of it. I was like, this is Anne Hathaway. Like, I'm not, like, this is no one else to me besides Anne Hathaway. So she kind of like took me out of it a little. I mean, there were some parts that I was like, yay. But it kind of fell flat for me. And I'm sorry to say, it was just not bad enough. It was like trying too hard to be like real. And I just wanted like a shitty movie.
Yeah. The emotions felt really like dramatic and melodramatic throughout it. And she spends half the movie apologizing to her daughter. I'm so sorry I'm having sex with Harry Styles. I'm so sorry. And like the conflict didn't seem like it was there the whole time.
I also missed the part where like she fell for him. You know? I didn't, like, to me, she just like up and decided to like go surprise him in New York, but like what inspired that? Like I missed the part where you were like, oh, I'm actually like really into him.
If Harry Styles asked me, hey, do you want to go on a Europe trip? Yes. I'm in. I'll do whatever you want, Harry.
You know what's interesting? Nicholas Galitzine, I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Whenever he's interviewed, like, oh, who did you like use for inspiration? He has not said Harry Styles. Like he'll say
he said role model, which is crazy.
Like, I think BTS. Like he's kind of saying everyone but Harry. And I'm really curious as if like that's a legal thing or what.
Yeah, that's interesting. I could see that. I did think the funniest part though was this is a spoiler, but the ending. Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, but I don't care.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't see it yet, Izzy? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, I've already spoiled so much for you then. Okay. Well, the 5 years later part, her life is exactly the same. They just made her hair slightly shorter.
You know that's not how the book ended? They took liberties. The book ended with, and if you want to read the book, skip this part. I didn't read the book, but I just heard that the book ended with him like coming back to her 5 years later and her being like, I was never in love with you. I was just in love with the idea of you, which she wasn't telling the truth, but she was just like needing him to let go for his own sake or her sake, whatever. But that's not how the movie ended. Oh, I just kind of gave myself goosebumps. But that's better, in my opinion, and like more realistic and like kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit more. But
yeah, it seems like the realistic ending.
Yeah.
Versus what we got. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I wish it was a worse movie. That's my humble opinion. Can Izzy and Kenny do their own episodes as a guest rather than producers?
Oh,
Wow.
scary.
What should we talk about if we were to do that?
I don't. What do you want to do? The world is your oyster.
Oh, God.
Do we have a mutual obsession together?
No, you have to do it. You, Kenny, you get your own episode, and Izzy, you get your own episode.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about Conan earlier.
Yeah.
I don't have many obsessions, but Conan was a big reason I even got into this industry.
Whoa.
I
Let's
love
do a Conan episode.
I'd be so down for that.
I would love that.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if the listeners would even find sports interesting, but sports were a big part of my life growing up.
Let's do Conan X Sports.
Yeah, sure.
He says one obsession.
I'll come on and talk about anything you want.
Okay.
Yeah, you know I'm game.
Yeah.
What about you, Izzy?
Izzy Anna?
Like, honestly, I don't know. I can't think of anything that like people would actually care about. Like
1975,
yeah,
probably.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
1975.
I would happily
Yeah.
join you in that one.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
I'd like to be educated on 1975 too, because I feel like I just completely missed the wave
Yeah.
on that band.
Oh, I love
And I
them.
kind of feel like I do too because I wasn't there in the early days.
Those
Were
are
you there
fun.
from the beginning?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was like the scary Tumblr side where like I told you and Connor this in Philly, but like I went through a weird phase of like being super obsessed with 1975 and then did 180 to MGK.
That's really unique.
It's really weird, like really weird, because it wasn't like his pop punk phase. It was his like white rapper phase.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, Cleveland is the spot. Like I want to move to Cleveland because of him. Quickly got out of that phase and was like, holy shit. And then went back
Cleveland.
to, yeah, it was crazy.
You know, I only know who MGK is because he was on one episode of Catfish.
Really?
He was on Catfish?
I was literally obsessed with Catfish. It was scary. Like, I should do an episode on Catfish. The only nonfiction book that I've ever read is Neve's memoir. And I was like reading that. I like couldn't be separated from it. I remember like the one frat party I went to, I brought Neve's memoir, which is like so random.
She's
But I
not
haven't
like
seen
other
Catfish
girls.
in a while. It's like,
Is it still on?
kind of love Catfish. Yeah, it's still going.
Oh,
Max
wow.
isn't in it anymore. But I showed you that Katy Perry clip, the Catfish Katy Perry clip.
Oh, I saw that.
That is
Yeah.
literally like the best thing to come out of television.
So good.
It's this guy who thinks he's in a full-blown committed relationship with Katy Perry. And so Max and Neve are like trying to tell him like, you're not dating Katy Perry. In fact, like, here's the woman you've been talking to. Here she is right in front of your face. And she's not Katy Perry. And he's like, I don't believe that's not her. That is not her. I've been talking to Katy. Okay. Not her. And so he was like, if it's really you, then tell me the names of our 3 children. And she named 2 out of the 3 because she forgot the third's name. And he was like, not her. Not her. If it were her, she would know all 3. And then Max was like, she doesn't know all 3 because she doesn't care about you. And it was a tough watch. I think he still to this day believes he was talking to Katy Perry. Hey guys, this podcast is sponsored by Squarespace. We all know and love Squarespace. But for any of you who don't know, Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for entrepreneurs to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place, all on your terms. If you don't know where to start, try using Squarespace Blueprint. It's the new guided design system that lets you build your online presence from the ground up by choosing from professionally curated layout and styling options. You can sell exclusive content on your site by adding a paywall to sell memberships, courses, or files for download like PDFs or music. And Squarespace is here to make your checkout seamless. They accept credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, and in eligible countries, customers have the options to buy now and pay later. If you've been wary about starting a business, now's the time. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/OWB to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Hey guys, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Something that I personally need to get off my chest is that I leave for a 2.5-week-long Europe trip tomorrow, and I have not packed, and I don't know what I'm gonna pack, so I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So we're gonna get through that. We all carry around different stressors, big and small. When we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. I love therapy because it's given me the tools to better my relationship with myself and others. I've become more perceptive of my actions and have learned coping mechanisms that help my day-to-day stressors. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/OWB to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/OWB. Yeah, it's really like, some of them are really like a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. I can't watch shows like that because I'm like,
You feel too bad.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been catfished?
Yeah. During the like One Direction phase
Oh God, yeah.
on Kick, fully thought I was talking to Niall a couple times and was like convinced.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was talking to Bobby,
Yeah.
his father.
You were
yeah.
not catfish.
Yeah. I guess I was catfish. I don't know if I've told this story. When I look back, like, at my schooling experience, like, I think of it very positively, like middle school, high school. And I think like I was never bullied. Like, I went to like a super like open, loving school. But looking back, like, I was fully, and no, this is not like a feel bad for me. Like, just laugh. Like, do not, everyone listening, like, I am here doing this because of everything that I have been through, and I'm laughing at it, and don't feel bad for me, please, ever. But the boys in my grade, I just didn't let myself be bullied. Like, I laughed along with it. And so I just reclaimed it, and I never like thought anything of it. But the boys in my grade face smashed my crush with an image of the skateboarder Ryan Sheckler. And were communicating with me via Facebook from this man who we immediately entered a Facebook relationship. Like, it says, like, in a relationship, we were in a relationship with each other, and we were like constantly writing on each other's walls, like love you, babe, like, etc. I fully thought I had a boyfriend, by the way. And like if I like my Facebook memories, when they pop up, it'll still like every year be like him wishing me happy birthday, or like him writing on my wall, like, I love you, babe, like, yay. So, and I keep it up because it's like kind of like it's important to have up there. And then when they revealed it was them, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I don't think I cared at all. I was just like fun, like joking around with the boys. Like, I love it, guys. And now looking back, I was like, oh, wow, that was kind of mean. It's kind of like completely diabolical. But I literally like did not let myself be bullied. I don't know if that's bullying, but like, it wasn't like probably not nice to do to a young girl. I guess they were just like pranking me. But anyway, on to the next question. I want an entire episode on ACOTAR and Throne of Glass. You will get that. I do want to bring, for that one, I want to bring Megan on. Megan has not read any of these. And Izzy, you can't be here for them because I
have the book in my possession as of an hour ago.
Oh, Izzy, I'm so happy about that. Mm-hmm. But you're not allowed to be here for the episode because I'm not exposing you to any spoilers. Okay. You have to go upstairs and put your earphones in.
That's fair.
But I want to bring Megan because, and Kenny, I need you on site too. She is literally like the greatest friend in the world because she has no interest in ACOTAR or anything, but she receives everything that I have to say about it with enthusiasm and excitement and like genuine curiosity and questions for me. Like, it is really the sweetest thing. Like, I'll be like, Megan, like, this just happened in my book. And she'll be like, oh my God, like, you must be feeling like you must be going crazy. Like, she really is. I wish everyone had a Megan because she really asks great questions and shows genuine enthusiasm about things that I'm obsessed with. And for that, I just love her. So yeah, you will get an episode on that. Okay. Oh my God, we didn't talk. I like mentioned this on BNC, but we didn't talk about Andrew Barth Feldman getting the Little Shop role. Kenny, do you know that?
No, what? Sorry, what happened?
When Andrew was on this podcast, we were talking about like what roles like he would want.
Oh, and yeah.
we were talking about him as the lead in Little Shop of Horrors, which is the one that I just went to see, and he's now the lead in Little Shop of Horrors.
That's awesome.
So I'm just so curious, like how much of that was manifested in the manifestation space, or how much of that was like already being talked about, and he kind of was just like planting that seed. Maybe if I ever see him again, I'll ask.
Just planting the seed, like he is such a good actor because he didn't flinch at all when you said it.
But we know he's such a good actor, so that's a possibility.
That was crazy.
Good for him.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yep. Wow. So I'm really excited, and he's playing opposite Sarah Hyland, who's Haley from Modern Family, which is another hyperfixation of mine. So it's kind of just like hyperfixations colliding, which is always really fun. Okay, next question. Wondering if you feel like life is pointless without an obsession. I do. I do feel that way. I don't think, because an obsession, like I have so much love to give. So when I don't have like an active obsession to kind of pour that all onto, I think there's like too much in my body. Like it's like exploding a little bit. So I kind of need that as like a release. So when I don't have that, I'm just not like I'm feeling like sick, you know? I can't think of the last time I didn't have one though, which is nice. It's kind of like my brain knows and just latches onto the nearest thing. Okay, this one's kind of hard. Fuck, marry, kill. Nick Miller, Jim Halpert, Chandler Bing.
Nick Miller's
Jake Johnson and New Girl.
Yes. Okay.
Jim Halpert.
The Office.
We know. Chandler Bing, we know.
Yes.
That's feeling a little bit impossible. I'll say this. I used to be like such a Nick girl. And I think as I've grown and matured, I've become more of a Schmidt girl. Because you guys know, like, my car is not even registered. Like, we can't have two of those together. Like, I feel like me and Nick would just, like, be arrested for, like, tax evasion or something. And I'm thinking deeper into it than you probably intended. So, I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to marry Jim. Because I think that me and Chandler would be like too much, you know, too much kind of needing the center of attention. But I can't kill him. I don't know.
Marry all three?
Mm-hmm. Maybe marry Jim. Mm-hmm. Marry Jim and challengers. Nick Miller and Chandler Bing. That's what we'll do. That is what we'll do. Okay. Next question. At what point did you realize, oh, I'm obsessed with things unlike anyone else? I think maybe the Glee era. Because like all of my friends loved Glee, but they would kind of like be over it when the episode ended on Tuesday night. And just like be able to go back to their like regularly scheduled programming of life. And my life literally revolved around Tuesday nights when Glee came out. Like the whole week I was just thinking about Tuesdays, reading fan fiction. And it just didn't feel like anyone was there with me. And I think that's when I was like, okay, we're dealing with something different in this body. So that's probably when. Is there anything that you used to be obsessed with that you now don't like at all? No, I honestly think that everything that I've been obsessed with like takes a toll on my heart and it's just like forever there. Like, and it can be dormant. Like, for example, like right now I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with Clay Aiken. Like I'm going to die. But like when I hear a Clay Aiken song that I obviously have on multiple playlists, I'm like, yay, Clay, you know, because he was a big part of my life and he'll stay that way. So I don't think so. I think that everything I've ever been really obsessed with is a part of me. Anyone else? Any interest that you've had that you're just like, I'm not at all interested anymore?
I used to be like really, really obsessed with Halsey. Like from
was
the
that
beginning.
a 1975 related experience?
No, this was before she was dating him, or like had any affiliation with him. I like randomly found her on Twitter because she had like 1,000 followers.
Oh my God.
So I was like in it, and then I don't know. As soon as she like her like third album came out, I was like, oh, I actually don't like this at all, and suddenly like need to detach completely. But you're right. It's like I still love her old stuff. Like I'm nostalgic for her old stuff, but anything she does now, I'm kind of like, meh, whatever.
I guess Ed Sheeran for me then.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. Which is sad because it's like they take up so much of your
Right.
time, and then you're just like, now
Like
you're just
I
there.
loved his old stuff, and now it's just like he's lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Blink 182 for me
Mm.
in high school. That actually was a huge obsession of mine, was that band.
Oh, I love it, Kenny.
That was the only band I would listen to in the car when I got my license for the rest of my high school days. And I think that's a band that's kind of campy and fun. And now that I'm a little bit older, it doesn't quite land the way that it used to. But when they come on at a bar or just while we're out, it takes you back to that place. But I don't have that same passion that I did for that punk band.
When I was at Coachella last year, they were one of the headliners. And, I knew like all their hits, but I knew nothing about like their personalities and stuff. So Patrick and I were like very close up because we had VIP and we were both under the influence of, I think I'd had like 2 like gummies. So I was like completely like eyes rolling back into my head, like not there. And then they came out and, as I said, I didn't know anything about their personalities. So they were just doing like the most insane, like, I fucked your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was so high, I was like, this is not okay. Like I was like, these are grown men. I was like freaked out. But it was just because like, when you're high and it's like everything is just like elevated. Like it was like, so that is what I was kind of going through. And I was like, is this okay? Like I don't know what. And then, but anyway, I loved the music.
That their humor, I think when you're 15, you're like,
Yes.
these guys get it, man.
They're
like,
yes, I fucked your mom. Yes.
Yeah. Like these are the things I can't say in school.
Yeah. But they're like 50s?
I think so. I would guess by this point, yeah. And they're great musicians, like
Totally.
they're talented, but yeah, you kind of hear it now and you're like, all right,
like,
that's not quite hitting the way that you used to. The fuck your mom jokes.
Yeah. So that was kind of, anyway. This one's another impossible fuck, marry, kill. No, actually not really, but fuck, marry, kill, knitting, Broadway musicals, and reading in the hot tub. That is impossible because we know like knitting, I'm not like obsessed. I am obsessed with knitting, but like right now it's dormant. But I couldn't kill it because I know that's something I'm going to come back to. And I look forward to coming back to it. I have things I want to make. I know that it has the capability of bringing me so much joy. And I know I'll get back there. Broadway musicals, that's staying. Reading in the hot tub, I couldn't possibly get rid of. I'm not seeing any of these as viable killing options. I guess like right now I'd have to kill knitting just because I'm not knitting right now. But I don't want to do that, and I would marry Broadway musicals and fuck reading in the hot tub. But that's not easy. Okay. How do you handle being obsessed with someone you know in real life? I don't think I've ever been obsessed with somebody in real life the way that I obsess over the things that I obsess over. Like when I am really into someone in real life, it brings me no joy. It is a joyless experience. Whereas with my obsessions, like it brings me nothing but joy and safety. Like if I really like someone in real life, I'm miserable, I'm depressed, I feel nauseous all the time. So how do I handle it? I don't. But it's also like, it is different because you know them. I don't think that I've had the type of experience with somebody in real life that I've had with all these celebrities. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, so like we're not doing crushes? Like you?
No, I have crushes, but I'm not obsessed with them in the way that I'm obsessed with things I talk about on this podcast because they bring me no happiness.
Right. Well, I think like also being obsessed with someone, you know, would be really unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like putting them on like a crazy pedestal.
And also like when I'm obsessed with something, I have like unlimited access to them and like content, which I love, but you don't have that with someone in real life. So you're kind of like waiting for it. You're just like obsessively waiting for the contact to happen, for like them to reach out to you, which is a much different experience than having just like a YouTube video available to watch.
Yeah.
About
you can't
someone.
like do a compilation
So
video
it's
of your
just
crush.
like, it's just such a different thing. But anyway, how do you handle being obsessed with someone you know in real life? I've never had a good experience liking someone. So yay. Having a crush really is like the best and the worst thing. The best because like it gets you out of bed in the morning, but the worst in every other.
Yeah, because once you're out of bed, you're like, oh fuck, I gotta
You're
deal
like,
with this.
Yeah. Which one of your celeb obsessions do people question the most? Probably Clay Aiken. But I would say like I wouldn't see Clay Aiken now and be like, I have a crush on him. That was more of a young me type of situation. But a lot of people don't get that. And even like when I play him in my car, a lot of people are like, can you change this, please? Which I personally don't understand. But I think that's the one that people have the least amount of respect for. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yay. Okay. A few more. Okay, your favorite Darren Criss song. Thank you for asking. I can give you about my top 10. I can probably narrow it down to. Okay, you know how I was talking about his solo music? There's one that you guys all have to listen to right now. I just really quickly want to make sure it's not a cover because I have a habit of being like, you have to listen to this song by this person. And they're like, this is not a song by this person. This is a cover. Yep, so this is actually an original Darren Criss. It's called The Day That the Dance Is Over. It is a gorgeous piece that I want to encourage you all to listen to right now. It's on the Obsess playlist. There's also a song that he sung in a Harry Potter musical called Not Alone, which got me through a lot of depression in high school. So if you're ever feeling depressed, I would recommend listening to that song where Darren tells you that you're actually not alone. So that's really pretty. And then my favorite Glee Darren songs, I've been really fixating on When I Get You Alone, which is the song where he kind of like bombards that young man in the Gap. Somewhere Only We Know, that's a classic. It's Not Unusual, okay? It's one of my favorites. Cough Syrup, okay? Just narrowing down to a few. Teenage Dream, the slow version, the acoustic version. Hungry Like the Wolf that he sings with Matt Bomer. Am I missing any key ones?
I think those are the big hitters.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'd say those are my favorite. Thank you for asking. Okay. Let's do a few more. Do you remember what your very first obsession was? The Count from Sesame Street, for sure. Like getting that vampire kink started early, which is sweet. Team Edward. Yeah. How about you guys? Any kind of like early loves?
Jonas Brothers. That was the first band where I like looked up on YouTube videos outside of their music videos.
Love that. I had a very brief Jonas Brothers obsession.
Really?
Were you a Nick girl?
Joe.
Mm-hmm. I was addicted to Nick, and like obviously like when the diabetes news came out, I obviously thought he was gonna die like the next day. That is how they made it seem.
Yeah, that's like he's on his deathbed.
Like a little bit longer is just absolutely heart-wrenching, but really makes it seem like he literally just has a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's doing well, but that was a scare that I had. Kenny, do you remember like a first interest?
Mine was Woody and Buzz.
And that was my second, was Woody.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a fun episode.
Yeah,
Obsessed
I'd love to
with
do
Woody.
Toy Story and X Woody.
Yeah, I had the action figures of the dolls, and I would set them up, and then I'd leave the room, and I'd try to like peek in
Oh, that's so
to
cute.
catch them.
I still think my stuffed animals are alive.
Yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. I was like fully convinced that I could make it happen if I gave it enough time out of the room. But so, are you still doing that sort of thing? It sounds like
I'm not still like actively peeking in on them.
Yeah.
But like if you told me like, oh, by the way, like your stuffed animals walk around your room when you're gone, I'd be like, yeah. 150%. Yeah.
They're watching TV, using your sofa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would literally like not be shocked at all. Okay, I tried to do connections this morning and couldn't. If y'all want to help me at all with that. If you guys don't like when we do connections, this is a perfect time to end the episode. And I will see you when I'm back from Europe. We will not have any Obsessed for the next 2 weeks. I'll miss you horribly. But we will have a lot to discuss when I'm back. And I have a good guest lined up. I haven't told you guys about it, but I will tell you when we end. But yeah, I'll see you then. Can't wait. Let's do connections for those of you who'd love to stay. The computer's not working right now, so let me see if I close some tabs. Connections, New York Times. Okay. This is one of those where it's like there's like 6 words that are clearly all the same and they're trying to trick you.
Oh boy.
So like there's
Sitting up for this one.
there's limit, contain, cap, cork, curb, and check, which all could mean the same thing. Surely they could all be together. But then there's also check, tab, bill, and nothing else. Well, let's focus on Venom. What could go with? Is that like a movie superhero movie title,
Spider-Man.
Kenny?
Yeah, Venom's the nemesis of Spider-Man.
Okay,
Yeah,
yay.
yeah.
Is there any other nemesis that you're seeing?
See, I'm not well versed in Spider-Man. I just know Venom, so I can't help much more at this time.
I know a lot about the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't think Venom was in that.
I don't know.
Time. Okay, fur. Anything related to fur that's catching your eye? Like fur coat. Fur, egg. Things that
Oh, a bill,
like a
Duck.
beak.
a beak. Yeah.
Yeah. Fur, egg, bill, venom. Things that come out, things that protrude from animals. Nope.
Wait. Isn't do you know platypus? Aren't they venomous? Am I crazy? They lay eggs, have a bill, and have fur, and I think they're venomous.
Kenny, if the category is platypus,
That would be
you
insane.
will literally like win connections.
I really hope this is right because I'm taking a big swing. Oh my god.
Oh my.
Get out.
I'll see you next time. Hey, have a great trip.
Kenny, that was the purple too.
What the actual fuck?
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Okay, you need to do an Obsessed episode about platypi.
Yeah, I guess so.
Clearly you're an expert.
Wow.
Wow, Kenny.
I just happened to see that on Twitter or something the last couple of weeks. This is recent information for me that they're venomous.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What? Do they bite you?
I don't know. I don't know how they administer.
We'll
the
figure it out on our episode.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
Okay. Wow, that's like genuinely insane.
Wow.
period and tab are things on a keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Like caps lock, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Tab.
Spell check. Oh wait, no.
Okay, how about like lid, cap,
Cork.
Yeah.
and then
Contain.
these are like actual physical tops of bottles. Is tab
Yeah, like
Yes.
like a tab on
like a pop tab?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, that was
Nice.
the yellow, which is crazy.
Very good.
So then it would be check, limit, contain, curb.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa.
Then time, spell, stretch, and period.
Like
Oh, like a stretch of time.
Oh, yeah.
Duration. Kenny
Wow.
that's insane.
That's crazy. I
We
surprise
need to
myself
clip
every day. That's insane.
That's like never before been done.
Wow.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for asking questions. I will miss you when I'm in Europe, but see you when I'm back. Bye.